Oh, hey, welcome back to my channel. So, look what I got. The new Insta360 X5. I'm making this video so I can show you the settings I use, the different mounting locations on my motorcycle, on my bicycle, how to do dash cam mode, a couple of little fun things to do with this camera. But the biggest thing, I will teach you how to not be overwhelmed by this camera. But there's a secret to keep from getting overwhelmed with this camera, and it's all in the shooting. Stay tuned and I'll take you along with me while I mount this camera to my motorcycle, to my bicycle, while I go hiking, maybe a little drone shot. I'll show you how to set up this camera, how to do the firmware update. I'll show you my favorite way to edit, which is really cool. So if you're new to 360 cameras, this will be very informative to you. If you have used 360 cameras in the past, you're probably trying to decide whether you need to upgrade or not. Should you upgrade to the X5? We'll go over all that, so stay tuned. Okay, if you're new to the 360 camera, let me explain a little bit about this camera. It has a lens on this side, a lens on this side, and it shoots video in 360 degrees. It shoots video everywhere, this way, up, down. And then what it does, anything that's in the line of this edge of this camera, including, this is called the invisible selfie stick. Doesn't look invisible, but it looks invisible from here. With the selfie stick, I mean, you can open this up, and then while you're shooting, the camera will actually stitch out this pole. So if you're holding it out in front of you, all you see is yourself. You don't see the pole. But the main reason I use this camera is if I'm shooting something on my motorcycle. I used to always have a GoPro mounted on my motorcycle. I've got a mount here shooting ahead. I've got a mount over here to shoot me. And if I want to do both of them, I have two GoPros running and I edit between them. With the 360 camera, I just mount that on there and I can shoot in front of me, I can shoot me, I can shoot either side of the motorcycle. If I'm shooting something ahead of me and then all of a sudden something really cool happens over here, guess what? I got it. It's all covered. I think the biggest mistake I found, not only for 360 users, but for people who are new to working video, the biggest mistake I see, I've been in video production for 26 years, and if you shoot everything, you will be way too overwhelmed when it comes to edit it. Let me explain that a little bit. A lot of people will just say, well, I'll just stick that camera on there, I'll hit record, I'll go ride for 2 or 3 hours, and that way I can edit a video out of that. But the problem is, it's so overwhelming to go back and look at all that footage and try to pick out the best spots, when to me it's easier just to have the camera setting there, have it within reaching distance, so all you got to do is push the button to start recording. And if you're riding along and you see, oh, here comes this, look at this cool looking mountain up here. You hit record, you go past the mountain, you're back out to where it's boring again, turn the camera back off. That is key to not getting overwhelmed. Don't just let this camera run and say you're going to edit it out later, because I'm going to say 90% of the time when you do that, you're not going to edit it out later. It's best to pick out those best and worst parts while you're actually experiencing it at the time. Trust me on this. Don't just sit there and let it run. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, let's talk about setting up the camera. Okay, as soon as you get your Insta360 V5, you're going to want to do a firmware update on it, and you're going to want to sync it with your app. Now, you can use an iPhone, or I use an iPad, which is exactly the same as using the iPhone. So I'm going to show you on my iPad because I'm actually filming with my iPhone, and I do all my editing on this anyway. All my YouTube videos are edited on my iPad. Okay, here we go. So I found that you're going to want to turn the camera on before you open the app. Sometimes I have problems if I open the app first. I have a problem with it finding it. So, sit there so you can see it. You're going to want to download the Insta360 app. No matter what kind of smartphone you have, it is available. Now this says found the connection device, connect now. But when the first time you do it, it's not really going to come up there. So what you want to do is come over here to hit me, and then go to device settings, and then connect device. You want to hit connect, and it'll search for it. It's already found mine because I've done it before. So I'm going to let it connect, and there it goes, and it found a firmware update. So we're going to update the firmware, and here we go. It says it's receiving firmware. But you definitely want to get to the latest firmware before you start using your camera. Okay, waiting for device to finish updating. Checking firmware. Updating firmware. Please do not power off the camera. 64%. And update successful. Reconnect to the device. Ask if it wants to join. You say yes. And there we are. We're connected. You can see right there, X5, 64% battery. This is the interface of it. This is the main screen. It's going to show you what's in front or what's in back. You could hit this little button here. Sometimes you have to do it twice, and then you see this way. Go back this way, and you see going forward again. Now, this is not what it's recording. It's not just recording this little section. It is recording everywhere, remember. This is just to use as a reference as you're setting up the camera and as you're looking at it. Now, there's different settings. Like, right, I keep it at 8K 30. That's perfect for me. I want it, if you record in 8K, you can narrow it down to the shot you want in 4K, and it still comes out really good quality. Okay, so the settings I use, I keep this rotation lock. I keep it on. The little lock emblem, that's so you can lock that and then you can't accidentally change something. I just keep that unlocked. And this is brightness level. The sound as it's prompting. A lot of people will turn off that and turn off indicator light. I keep both on, mainly because I'm doing most of my stuff on a motorcycle, and I want to be able to look over and see this light. If it's blue, I know it's not recording. If it's blinking red, I know it's recording. If you don't want it to beep or for that light to be lit up, you can turn that off. Sync files to cloud, I don't mess with that because that's a prescription-based thing. AI highlights assist, I don't mess with that. There's another menu over here, gesture control. Gesture control is you put up, let's see if I can get my hand here. A flat hand like that will start it recording, and same thing, stop recording. This works pretty good. I've actually used it on my motorcycle and it worked good, but as it started getting dark, it didn't work anymore. The gesture control, peace sign takes a picture. Now the problem, I actually had this turned on, and I was using it on my motorcycle. It worked sometimes it didn't. But I just left it on. I thought, why not? It won't hurt, just leave it on all the time. Well, then I was shooting this Dutch oven cooking video for my YouTube channel, and I was using my iPhone and this as my two cameras. The problem was, as I was talking with my hands and as I was moving stuff around, at some point it thought I gave it a peace sign. It started taking pictures of me. And then it stayed in photo mode. So I was like, turn that off. I mean, sure, it comes in handy sometime, but I wouldn't leave it on all the time, because just talking with your hands like I do a lot, you're going to turn the camera off and on and start taking pictures and video and all that stuff. You can also do voice control. I just leave that off because I don't want to do voice control. Twist to shoot. That's where if you have it on a pole, you can twist it twice and it'll start shooting. Accessories. That's just if you have dive case, chest mount. It's different ways to, so it knows how to do the stitching on it. Presets. I don't have any presets. Endurance mode. That's like if you're about to run out of battery and you just really want to finish shooting what you're shooting, you do endurance mode and it does a lower quality. Which I'm at 33%. I'm about to run out of battery. Bluetooth, we'll go over that later with the Mic Air, which I'm actually, the audio you're hearing right now is from a Mic Air. Then we have quick capture. I leave that on. What that does is when this thing is totally turned off, you can just push this button right here. It will automatically turn on, start recording, and then you push it again, it will stop recording, and then after like, I believe 3 seconds, it'll shut it back off again. That is so much easier than turning it on, waiting for it to boot up, then hitting record, stop, turn it back off. I just leave that on all the time. Time capture. Okay, you can actually have it start at a certain time now that I'm looking at it. I haven't messed with this. This would probably be good for doing a star lapse video. You could set it to like at 7 o'clock start recording. All right, so that's all of those menus. But when you go back, to get to those menus, this is the Generals tab right here. More settings. SD card, that's how you format your SD card. You can make a time code. Wi-Fi settings, I keep that on auto. Connect to the app, pretty much does that automatically when you're trying to look through the album. We'll go over that later. Oops. Skip intro and outro. That's the 3-second thing. Power off charging. Power off charging. I mean, see, that's kind of like when you plug the power cord in, it starts charging. That's what I have it set on. Let's see what else we got. Date and time. I think that does it automatically when you hook it up to your phone. Gyroscope calibrations. That's if you start having problems later on with it not working, you can mess it with that. Reset the camera, all that good stuff. Then you hit on general here, and you got a couple more. Auto power off. I have it auto sleep to go in 90 seconds. It will go to sleep. After 15 minutes, it'll power the whole camera off. When it's asleep, you can touch the screen to wake. I have that turned on. Long press shutter button to cancel recording. I have that turned off. Bluetooth wake up. That means if you have another device, like I have the Mic Air. With this setup right here, I can just hit the button on the Mic Air. It will wake the camera up, start recording until I hit that button again on the mic. Okay, so that's all those settings. Now, there's some settings here. It's all white balance, all that stuff, standard. I keep all that auto. This is, if you swipe up, you either swipe up or you hit what you're setting, that right there. These are the different resolutions. I always shoot in 8K because when I make the footage 4K, I want the best quality I can get. Okay, and now the buttons on the actual camera itself. This button right here, push it, it starts recording. Push it again, it stops recording. This button down here, these are different modes, and it turns off really fast. So you can do interval, burst, star lapse, road mode. When you hit this, it goes back and forth between photo and video. Now, if it's getting dark out, you want to do pure video. And it'll tell you when you need to do that. As it starts getting dark, this is to simulate the darkness. I'm going to cover it up with the lens. Get out of there. and this little thing right here popped up. So you hit on that, low light detected, try pure video mode for best results, and you hit change. Now, it did that because the camera knows when it's too light. See, watch it now. Oh, it went off because there's plenty of light. It doesn't need to be in pure video mode. But look at this footage I shot in pure video mode. In this footage, it was dark. I mean dark. The only thing that kind of lit up everything were street lights. That's pretty good quality for a sports camera. I mean, I've owned all of the different GoPros. I've owned the first version of the 360. I've never had any camera that was that good in low light in a sports camera category. Okay, and if you swipe to the right, then you can see the videos. That's the video that just shot earlier. Here's some videos. You know, you can do that and you can play them. And then on the side, this is the power button to turn it off and on. This button down here is a programmable button. It came programmed and where you could do different modes: motorcycling, skiing, outdoor hiking, bicycling. And basically the bicycling, you can see it down here, 8K 30 frames per second, 8K 30 frames per second. Skiing is 5.7K 60 frames per second. That's because you can do slow motion that way. Anytime you do slow motion, you want to have it 60 frames per second instead of 30 frames per second. For my motorcycle stuff, turn back on. For my motorcycle stuff, I don't have to do that. Pretty much I just do 8K 30. That's pretty simple. And that's pretty much the heart of this thing. Another good thing is, and unlike previous versions, if you scratch that lens by like dropping it down, rubbing it around, which I try to always protect it. Like if I'm going to set it down, I'll make sure that's on it or it's in its case. But the cool thing is, if you do scratch it, for like $29, you can get another set of lenses and a special tool to change it with. That is awesome. Okay, let's talk about mounting options on motorcycles, bicycles, and all that good stuff. Okay, let's talk mounting options for the 360. I'm a big fan of the RAM mount system. I use it to hold my phone on my bike. I use it for my cameras. Even on my trailer I pull behind my motorcycle when I'm camping, I have RAM mounts mounted on it. If you look right there, we've got a ball mount right there on that handlebar. And then I've got a ball mount back here on the back of the Harley. We'll see how those work in a bit. But let's look at the rest of these. Now with that ball mount, you're going to need these little extensions. I've got a longer one and a shorter one for a couple different scenarios. You got the invisible selfie stick that, of course, that screws into the bottom of your Insta360. Okay, here's one thing I want to say about if you have something that's screwing into the bottom of the Insta360, make sure that it's not too long. This one right here is perfect for screwing into the bottom of the pole. But if I try to screw it into the bottom of this, it bottoms out before it goes all the way up. And if you were to force that, since that hits before it goes all the way up, if you were to force it to try to get it all the way up, you're going to strip out these threads in the bottom of that, and that would be horrible. I'm just saying. So I actually have another one that's shorter. This one will screw all the way up and bottom out. Now I kind of like this one for screwing in the pole because the pole sometimes is sticking out pretty far and I want the most strength I can get when I'm using the pole. So just keep that in mind. And then this is a kind of a mount. I use this on my bicycle a little bit. But this is, you don't need the ball or the ram mount. This is actually Insta360 mount. But if you have a tube, any kind of tube to connect it to, you can connect that to it. And then this thing here turns all different directions. I'm a big fan of a 2-point system, which this can help hold the center of the pole. You'll see that in a little bit. Just coming off of this or coming off of one of these, it's not real sturdy. It's best to have 2 points of contact, and this right here is perfect for adding that second point of contact. Okay, so we start off, let me show you how I mount them on the front of my bike. It all starts with this little guy right here. Let me show you a few scenarios you can use with it. Okay, this is my favorite option right here. What I've done is I've added the short little extension there. I changed out the ball mount with the one that has the longer studs going in there, so it supports the pole better. And the pole is actually sticking out in front a little bit. So the other day when I was riding with my granddaughter, I had this mounted on here and it started moving on me and I kept having to push it back up. Well, 2 things I've done now. I've replaced the original ram mount with this mount. This is the name of it. It actually has grooves on the inside of it that help tighten it on the ball. If you look at the inside, see how the inside of the, if I get this to as close as I can in focus, see how the inside of it has those grooves on it? And also, I've kind of turned this to where it's slicing through the wind instead of getting hit by the wind. This way is the way I had it, and the wind was hitting it and pushing it back, where this way I'm hoping that it'll just kind of slice through. I've got it set to where all I have to do is push this button right here. It starts up, starts recording, and once I hit it again, stops recording, and it shuts off. There it goes. Okay, now we're getting into some tricky setups using the 2 points of contact system. What I've done is I have the longer version here. I could have used the shorter one, except it didn't work with my cup holder here. So with this way, I ran it across here. Here is that mount. Now you want to make sure when you're doing the 2 points of contact, tighten this up really good, tighten this one up really good, but the one that's actually clamping on the selfie stick pole, do not tighten this up too much. I mean, very loosely. Like, see, it's just barely on there. That's all you need. I mean, it's not going to bounce up. It's not going to come out of there because it's smaller at the top than it is down where the pole is. If you tighten that up too much and you squeeze this pole is not going to slide back inside there. And these poles here that are inside here are not going to slide back in there if that's out of shape. So do not over tighten this one right here. Very important. But with this setup, I can shoot in front of the bike, I can shoot behind the bike, I can see me, I can see out that way, and if I want to see the side of my bike, all I have to do is reach over, extend that out while I'm riding. Now you don't want to do this if you're riding in a group and you have motorcycles that could be coming up beside you. I did this when I was out, no other motorcycles around me, and I stayed in the left side of the lane, and it made me, basically with that sticking out like that, about as, not quite as wide as a car actually. So it didn't stick over into the other lane. It's very important. You don't want this sticking over in the lane where a car or a motorcycle or somebody hits it. And you don't want to do this for long periods of time. I mean, just stick it out there, get your shot, and then bring it back in. Easy as that. Check out this shot it got. Okay, so if I want to have it mounted on the back, maybe to get a shot of what's going on behind me, you're riding in a group, you're in the front of the group, you want to see all the bikes behind you, something like that. Again, I use the 2-point system. Always, I mean, it's so much better. Anytime you have that pole extended, you want to make sure you have a 2-point system to be safe. Now, I have my ram ball mounts down there. I hooked up this to it. You want to make sure you tighten this up real good. Make sure that's screwed on there real good. Tighten that up. It's going to tighten that and that. And then I'm using the little clamp that I use for 2-point systems. Again, you want to tighten this up good. You want to tighten this up good. This one, do not tighten it too much. Do not over tighten it, because you don't want to squeeze that tubing, remember? But with it like that, this is extended all the way up. It's a little bit higher than what my head would be while I'm sitting on there. All right, so this is a pretty good setup here for Dashcam mode. It's got a view behind me and front of me. If you want to use it as a dash cam, put it in road mode. It has 5.7K, 30 frames per second. And if you can set it, frame rate, loop space. You want it to loop, like this is how much of the card. You can allocate, how much you want. You can raise that up. You want it to loop every hour and a half. All that's changeable. And this is a dash cam footage right here. All right, if you're going to do this for a long time, I would plug it in. I have a USB port right there that is only hot when it's on. So turn it on, and bonus, whenever you turn it on, it automatically starts recording. Okay, now these are the different positions that this can go in. For the most time, it's going to be in this position right here, about that far out. And this is the shot that it gets.
And then you can turn it around
Hello.
and say, you can say,
But you can also extend it out. Like that. And this is the shot that it gets. Another way to do it is in the front and sticking out, kind of getting a low shot. This is what that shot looks like. Shooting to the left, out like that. And this is the shot it gets. Is this a cool side shot? Can you see everything? This is actually made by Insta360, and it mounts, it'll clamp onto a pole or something, so I clamped it onto there, and then this you can go any direction. There'll be links to all these things, all the accessories, down in the description. Okay, another shot is to hook it to the back, and you can do it a little ways, which is going to look at the back of you, of course, but if you want to see something behind you, or you can do it all the way up. That's a good place to put it if you're trying to film somebody behind you. So you can pass me and it'll show you passing me. And I'm going to do. Okay, if you don't have a long pole to do this fake drone shot, put together some small ones. Now this camera and the app that comes with it, there's a lot of like cheesy effects that you can do on it. If you're trying to make your video look professional, I would not do those cheesy effects. It just doesn't look professional, you know? But if you have kids or grandkids, play around with those cheesy effects. I mean, kids love stuff like that. Case in point, here's a video of me with two of my granddaughters, and we're doing a little tiny planet video. Check it out. Isn't that cool? Kids love stuff like that. But if you're wanting to do it professional, you want it to look professional, skip all the cheesy effects. Don't make your video all warped. Don't pull so far back that you're really small and the whole world around you is warped. Be professional. Okay, let's talk about editing now. You've got all the footage shot. Now you need to edit it. This can be overwhelming, sort of, but it really isn't. Let me show you how to do this without it being overwhelming. So if you hit on album, you can see all the clips that are in all these clips are on the camera. If you click on downloaded, these are all the clips that I've downloaded on here. Now what I like to do is first I'll go through what's on the camera and find the clip I want to work on. And I like to download it onto the actual phone or iPad. So when you're editing it, you get a little bit more stability if it's on here versus doing it remotely. You can do it remotely, but I would suggest downloading it. And if you got a long clip and you know you're only going to use like a little bit of that clip, you're going to want to cut it down first and then download it. That way you're not downloading the whole, like say you recorded 30-minute video and you only want 20 seconds out of there. Just cut it down and then download just what you need so you don't take up so much space on your phone or your iPad. Okay, so there's one clip. I'm going to show you how I edit it. Let's see, it was this one right here.
Okay, let's do a little experiment now. I'm going to show you how easy it is to edit with this camera.
This isn't edited.
I'm setting this best.
So what you want to do first, take the clip and you want to edit it, cut it down to the parts you know you're only going to use. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, and there's a little scissors thing right here. Click the scissors, and then you can edit it down however you want. So click here to play.
Okay, let's do a little experiment.
A little bit before that. So I'm gonna, you want to drag that over about right there.
Okay, let's do a little experiment.
That's where I want it to
I'm
start.
going to show you how.
Now, where do I want it to end? Let's see.
See how easy that was?
I'm going to end it right there. So you take this and you drag it back. I know I didn't really cut out much of this because I pretty much started and stopped the clip where I knew I was going to use it. But once you get that done, okay, then you want to hit the check mark up here. Okay, once you get it cut down, then you want to hit this little, looks like a kind of a lug nut right there. And hit download. And then download again up here. Now it says it's added to the download queue. Now you can back out now. And right there next to that little camera, click on it, and you can see the progress of it downloading. Yep. Okay, it's downloaded now. Okay, so now we can turn the camera off. We're not using it anymore. Now, click on downloaded. Was this it?
Okay, let's do a little experiment.
Yep, that's it. My favorite way to edit this, hit the editor. Draft, because I've already edited it once. And then you want to go, oh, you got these options here for color, snapshot, all this stuff, speed. I'm going to go to more edits. And then once you kind of move this around a little bit where you want to start or whatever, then you'll notice this record button pops up down here. So hit record, and see how when you move this, it moves the camera. So now all you have to do is move this, point it in the direction you want to shoot after you hit start recording. So you hit start recording, and this is what you do.
Okay, let's do a little experiment now. I'm going to show you how easy it is to edit with this camera. I'm sending this message to future self on how I want this edited. Okay, right now you're looking at me, right here. You're looking at me. Now, I want you to point the camera to the right side of the motorcycle. Now, I want you to point the camera to the front of the motorcycle. Now, point the camera to the left of the motorcycle. And now point the camera to the back of the motorcycle. Now point the camera straight up in the air. And now bring the camera back down onto me. Welcome back. See how easy that was?
So that was definitely my favorite way to edit. Now another way you can do it is doing keyframes. So you want to come in here, click on edit, go to more edits. Now I want to zoom out some on this. We'll start right there. Now you see that little yellow triangle? That's the keyframe. So set your first keyframe. Then all you have to do is play. And when you need to reset your keyframe, I want to go forward a little bit, add another keyframe. Play again. Stop. I want to go forward a little bit more. Hit another keyframe.
There's the Brazos River again. This is a cool looking bridge right here.
They turned the volume down. Stop. Turn the volume down so you don't hear me talking on there. You hear me talking on here. Okay, now this bridge is coming up. That's a really cool bridge. So I'm going to, let's see, I want to point it at that bridge for the rest of the time. So I'm going to do a keyframe here. Zoom in. I'm going to turn it so we see the bridge more. Put another keyframe. Turn it sideways so you see me and the bridge. Put another keyframe. Play. Now this time I want to widen it out a little bit so we see more of the bridge. Put me in the center. Add a keyframe there. Hit play. At this point I want to kind of follow the bridge, so I'm going to put a keyframe there. Play again. Follow the bridge some more. Maybe zoom in a little on that bridge. Put it in the center. Add keyframe. Play. Put that bridge in the center again. Zoom in a little. Add another keyframe, and that should finish it out. So you can edit with keyframes or you can edit with motion. So let's see what this looks like now. So there's the first keyframe. It's moving up forward. Here comes another keyframe. You can see the keyframes on the timeline there. So we're going forward till we see the bridge, and then we're going to follow the bridge. There's the bridge, so we're following, keyframing into the bridge, then widen out to see me, and then follow the bridge and zoom back in and finish it out. Just like that. It's so easy. And once you get it done, then you want to hit this button up here. Export to phone. What I like to do is I hit this little default and I hit YouTube, and it changes it to 4K because I do all my videos in 4K for my YouTube channel. And then you just hit export to phone. And here we are, it's exporting to the phone, which is actually my iPad. I mean, this is the same app that's on your phone. It's just on an iPad. So much that it thinks it's exporting to a phone when it's exporting to an iPad. But here we go, it's exporting it, making it. And there it is. Now it's going to come up open YouTube because it thinks I want to put it on YouTube right now. I'm not going to put it on YouTube right now because I'm going to add it into another video. So you exit out of that. Then we can just leave the app and go to my videos. Here we have it. Oh, I had my radio going. I can't turn that up because I'll get a copyright strike. And there's the video. Going by the bridge. We show the bridge. And it's in nice, crystal clear 4K. Which this thing, shooting in 8K, when you edit it down to 4K, it is very good. Okay, in conclusion, what are my thoughts on this camera? Positives, 4K video from this camera, shooting in 8K, very, very good quality. I have an older 360 camera. In fact, it was the Insta360 1R, which was like their first attempt at doing a 360 camera with an app and all that stuff. And the quality on that, just in 1080, I quit using it because I couldn't handle that quality at 1080. And I shoot all my YouTube videos in 4K, edit them all in 4K. With this camera, I can do some good quality 4K video with it. Another positive of this camera, if you crack the lens or scratch the lens, It's very expensive to try to get it sent off and get their lens replaced. The X5 for I think it's like $30. You can buy lens replacements and it comes with a little tool to replace the lenses. So if you scratch your lens, it's easily replaceable with this camera. That is the biggest reason to upgrade to this camera if you have one of the older versions. Right there. Another positive is while you're recording, you never miss a shot. If you're recording something over here and something really cool happens over there, you got it. You don't have to try to reset your camera to get to it. That's a big plus. About the only negative I can think of is if you shoot too much footage, you'll become overwhelmed when you're trying to edit it. And the easy fix for that is don't film everything, just film the good stuff. Easy fix. Now, if you like the way the audio sounds in this, I'm using the Insta360 Air mic. Be sure to look out for the next video after this. It's kind of a part 2. It's all about the Insta360 Mic Air. Not only using it with the Insta360 X5 camera, but also using it with a phone. And bonus, I actually bought 2 mics. I'm going to show you how 2 people can talk at the same time. You can mic 2 people up. Keep an eye out for that video. It's coming up soon.